Nothing will slow down the aging process faster than wearing sunscreen every day. Sunscreen only lasts 80 minutes and it needs to be reapplied.
8 minutes?
Why would skincare be making someone's face worse?
The girls who just love to go shopping at Sephora and just grab stuff and they're just excited to try new product typically strip their barrier so bad that their skin is like in freak out mode.
What is a product that people are buying and it's just burning money?
Vitamin C. If you are not buying a good quality vitamin C, you're just buying a fancy bottle. So once it's exposed to light, water, air, it's not really doing what the bottle says. Everybody needs the ABCs of skincare. So you need your vitamin A, which is your retinol products, B, which is your broad spectrum sunscreen, and your C is...
Welcome back, Bareface Podcast. Britney Row, my beautiful wife, is here.
Hello.
And we're going to go through some quick fire questions, kind of give you some details that we may not have before, but we're going to go over a lot of the top Googled questions and give our answers based on our 20 plus years of experience in the med spa industry. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So we'll go right into it. Why would skincare be making someone's face worse?
Okay, so typically if your skin doesn't seem to be getting better and you just keep using product and you keep trying all of these different things, usually we're just using products that are way too harsh, maybe using too many products, switching product lines or types of products before we even give them a chance to work. So typically I find that especially product junkies, the girls who just love to go shopping at Sephora and just grab stuff and they're just excited to try new product, typically strip their barrier so bad that their skin is like in freak out mode and we have to just pull it back, go back to the basics, calm everything down and slowly start introducing products. So typically it's because you like to shop too much. And now we have too many ingredients being introduced into the skin.
So then what would be causing what would be causing someone's skin to be aging the fastest? You've got sun exposure, smoking, stress, not wearing sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those, what is really causing the most damage, the most aging?
So excessive sun exposure is definitely going to be a huge trigger, especially in Arizona. We have a ton of sun exposure just like out and about. We're just walking to get the mail and now we are not wearing our sunscreen and we're not protecting our skin. So therefore, we're kind of getting that exposure without thinking about it. We think, oh, if I'm at the pool or if I'm by the beach, I need to wear sunscreen, but truly you need to be wearing it all the time. And then yes, take it like to your lifestyle. If you're drinking excessively, smoking excessively, stressing excessively, not sleeping, anything in excess that's putting stress onto the body obviously is going to age our skin. We're going to notice laxity, sunspots, dark circles, all of the above, or, you also get adult acne. So you get to deal with that again as you're also dealing with anti-aging. So that's always a fun conversation to have. So.
And then going into the laxity part of it, let's say I've got bags under my eyes. What would be kind of the best way to go about correcting something like that?
That's a hard one. Bags under the eyes, typically lasers can work if they're excessive and we're talking about true like fat pads. That's probably more surgical. If we're talking darkness, under eye filler, some good eye creams, again, microneedling, lasers, anything to kind of thicken up that epidermis. Typically when you're seeing darkness, it's just thin skin. You can see the vascularity under that area, so we just need to plump that skin back up. If you're having true bags, let's look at lifestyle. Are we sleeping? Do we need to maybe do some lymphatic drainage just to like kind of pull some of that out? Or are we talking true like genetic bags? If men or women, if it's different for bags under the eyes for men or women, I would say no. It's pretty typical.
Guys are more probably because of lack of sleep.
Right. But treatment-wise, yeah, I would say.
Treatment-wise, yeah.
It usually is, again, just going back to genetics and your everyday habits. Again, are you sleeping? Are you drinking enough water? That kind of stuff. We just need to build that collagen under the eyes.
Okay. And let's go with this last one is, say, women over 40. What's the biggest skincare mistake that women over 40 make?
I would say the biggest mistake is not taking care of your skin, thinking that you can still treat your skin like you did in your late teens, early 20s. Not wearing sunscreen is a huge mistake. It's never too late to start taking care of your skin. Um, Over exfoliating, so just like scrubbing, you don't have that thick barrier like you did when you were younger. You don't have excessive amount of oil anymore either. So typically you're stripping your oils, you're kind of looking dull, and you think, oh, well, I probably just need to exfoliate more. So over exfoliation, I would say, is a huge mistake over 40. Um, but really just you need to find products for your now mature skin, as much as I don't want to use that word because I am also over 40, but you have to treat your skin properly for your age range and knowing um, the ingredients that work best. Start using retinol, wear your sunscreen, start there, but probably see an esthetician. It's time to start taking care of your skin, getting those microneedlings done.
So what it kind of sounds like you're talking about is more consistency over intensity. It's better to say, I'm going to do something consistently for a year versus I'm going to do 2 or 3 big things and then I'm not going to take care of my skin the rest of the time.
Are we talking about for treatments?
Treatments, at home care. So when I talk about consistency over intensity, this is a lot of what I talk about in the consults as well, is that you're looking for something to say, fix me now, like surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and everything's going to be great. I can still go back to my lifestyle, terrible skincare
Right.
habits.
So definitely we want to work together. I'm not asking you to change your entire life. Absolutely not. But we do need to find things that work within your lifestyle. So if you're like, I can only handle 3 products. Okay, I'm going to find you the best 3 products that we can do. But also making sure that the treatments that we're doing are also going to steer the boat in the right direction. I want to make sure that everything we're doing gets us to the goal. And if your goal is, I, have a kid getting married in a few months and I want to look the best I can. Okay, we're going to go as aggressive as we can for that amount of time. However, after that, we're still going to want to treat our skin. We still want to look nice. Now you see what your skin can look like. We're going to back off a little bit. We're going to do maintenance treatments, whatever that looks like for that person. But the products that you use at home will by far get you to your results faster. So if you can't be consistent using your products at home, there's only so much we can do in the treatment room. It doesn't matter how aggressive of a treatment we do. Technically speaking, the more aggressive we go with the treatments we do in the office and you're not using product at home, a lot more things can go sideways. So,
Right, you're kind of giving yourself a reset, and now I'm going to start using product now that I've gotten my face lasered off,
mhm,
and now we're going to maintain and take care of that
right.
issue. So let's just say women let's stick with the same thing, in their 40s. What are, say, the
Feeling a
top
little attacked with the
3?
40s
Let's say
conversation right
women,
now.
old ladies in their 40s, using skincare products. What are the top 3 that everyone has to have?
Everybody needs the ABCs of skincare. So you need your vitamin A, which is your retinol products. You need B, which is your broad spectrum sunscreen, and your C is your vitamin C. I feel that that is just kind of a good basic routine for everybody. I can get into what that kind of looks like individually because I am a little bougie on vitamin C. Not all vitamin C's are created equally. However, generally speaking, let's say it's a good vitamin C. It's a great antioxidant for your skin. So within those ABCs, we are protecting our skin against the elements by using sunscreen. We are turning over our skin cells. We're brightening the skin. We're helping with pigment. We're helping with anti-aging by using our retinols and vitamin C packed with antioxidants. It's great for brightening. It's great for aging. Is good for breakouts. It's kind of an all-around product. So those are definitely going to be the first 3 that I start you on. And then we'll kind of adjust from there depending on our goals. So if we need to work on more pigment, we're going to kind of look at a pigment inhibitor, or we're going to look at more hydration, look at some hyaluronic acids, different
Like more
things like that.
custom.
Yeah. But I'd like to
Or
start everybody there for the most part and kind of go from there.
Okay. So we do have clients that come in and tell us what their skincare routine is.
Hmm.
Sometimes we can educate them and put them into something that is actually going to work. Other times, clients will come in and give us their routine, and it's kind of like deer in the headlights, and there's nothing you can do to change them. What's the strangest skincare product or routine that you've had?
She's gonna laugh because she does watch this, and she already gave me permission to talk about it, but
Is it coconut?
no.
Okay, never mind.
I had a client ask the other day because she saw TikTok asking if she could use Vagisil on her face. And I was like, you can do whatever you'd like.
You're
It's
brave enough,
your
you can use-
face. I didn't quite understand the logic behind it. She wanted to use it as a cleanser. I was like, let's maybe walk over to the retail wall and we'll look at some other options. Anyway, so we now have her on a different product. That was just the most recent one. That was really funny. Actually, yesterday I like fell out of my chair because I heard one of our stylists talking. They were talking about Noxzema, which I didn't even know was still. I don't know. Maybe it's better than it used to be. I remember it burned the crap out of my skin when I was a kid. But yeah, people using toothpaste, people extracting their own pimples with a pair of scissors. What else have I heard? I mean, people will try anything to have good skin, to clear acne. I get it. We get really desperate. And so you get influenced to try a lot of things. So we definitely have heard some wild stories, down to I just don't do anything. I mean,
Alcohol, a bar soap.
body wash on their face.
That's most guys. That's okay. Yeah.
It is not okay. Yeah, hand soap, or sorry, hand soap. I actually heard that a lot. Just using hand soap on their face, or using. I think your grandma actually told me she uses her hand lotion as her moisturizer. I fixed that, but I was like, all right, grandma, we don't need to do that anymore.
If your skin could complain about something, what would it usually complain about? Let's just take Arizona in general. In our weather, our summers.
If your skin could complain about something, it would be not protecting it against the sun. I kind of use the analogy, no other organ would we like take out and go lay on a lounge chair and go bake it in the sun for hours. Like, could you imagine doing that to any other organ? We forget that our skin is an organ. So, yes, our skin is meant to withstand the sun. Everything in small dosages, I think, is safe. I don't want to like fearmonger against the sun. It's the amount of sun. You wouldn't take your liver out and go cover it in oil and go lay it, you know. However, I think that would be the biggest thing. Like, just protect your skin. It's so hot here. And hydration, because we just don't get enough hydration in Arizona. So protect and hydrate.
Okay. That was huge for me when I started using skincare at home more consistently. I
Like
wish somebody would
yesterday?
have told me a long time ago.
If
that
only
that
he had a
worked.
wife that was an esthetician, she could have let him know
'Cause
and maybe buy him product and set it out on the counter.
Well, I have a lot of it under my sink now, but yeah, I started using it pretty consistently. That's when you really notice a difference. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're trying to use something and 20 days goes by and you're like, well, I don't see a difference. That's not the purpose. It's to maintain to the point where you don't know what you would have looked like had you not been using it, but you can look around.
Hmm.
You can look at old pictures. You can look at other people that are aging along with you and see, and you really see the difference. So I think a lot of it is just
I
taking
have a
photos.
question for you.
Yep.
Since you're a dude, what do you find to be the biggest like battle against skincare? Like,
Products.
why did it take me so long to get you to use them consistently? What is it?
Spite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mostly just didn't want to because you told me to.
Okay, that's
No.
fair.
I don't know. I think it's just another thing to add to your routine, and most men, I don't think their routine consists of much. It's
So,
shave, shower,
Get
leave.
on.
So,
Get on with the day. So
uh,
now that you are using multiple products in the morning, realistically,
yeah,
how long does it take you to apply the products that I have for you? And I believe I have
um,
you on like 3 serums,
so I'm on Pro Max Pigment Gel Pro, B3 Brightening, and Xlinia and
sunscreen.
sunscreen. So that's 5 different products. It takes me less than 30 seconds to put all of those on.
Thank you.
That's it. So you can mix
Apology
you
accepted.
mix your serums together, bam, throw your Xlinia on, just kind of like, your fine line correction, and then always end with your sunscreen. The sunscreen I use is actually green. It's like a Recovery Elta MD. So it
Mhm.
actually will diffuse the redness in my face. And it's odd. It's like leaving your house without a cell phone now. When I leave the house and I hadn't put anything on or I forgot or whatever happened out of routine, I'll go right back in and put it on. All right. So we'll go into that then, client transformations. I have a permanent makeup one, but maybe,
Yeah, no.
yeah. So I had a client that was needing to, she was wanting brows. She had brows, but she was found out that she had cancer and she was going in for chemo. So she asked me to microblade or do nano brows under what's already existing there because she knew she was going to lose her eyebrows. And so we went in, we did all the work that we needed to do, and she left, came back several weeks later, and she was almost in tears because when she was telling me the story, when she went in to get those things done, she had lost her hair, and the nurses, doctors, other patients there were just continually commenting on how good her brows looked. And
That had to have made her feel so good.
it made her feel great. And I actually got a couple extra clients out of it too from her kind of sharing that story. But just the story of her coming back and telling me how much that helped with her confidence and get her through
Yeah.
the process just because she had brows. And had we not done that, either we would have had to do it later and redraw them somehow, or she just wouldn't have had any.
It wouldn't have looked as
So we were actually
like
able to
herself.
keep what she had prior when she lost her brow hair. She still had brows that looked nice and wispy and natural, where that was the question she was getting is why was the hair falling out, but her brows were not.
Mhm.
And she was having to explain that it was actually a permanent tattoo.
Tattoo. I
So,
think that's something that's so maybe not talked about enough in our industry. We me and you, don't typically fall into the norm, I feel like, as med spa owners. Um, we don't necessarily get we don't like the overly done, like, it's really easy to, when you have access to everything, to kind of go overboard a little bit and kind of, I don't know, clouds your judgment a little bit. And we especially like love working on clients in that type of situation. Something that is like you changed her life in that moment. Like that was, I mean, I can only imagine what her confidence felt like. Um, I think that's what we kind of lean on more is like the emotional part of it more. Yes, we can make you look, you know, beautiful. You're already beautiful. Like we're enhancing things, that kind of stuff. But like, how are we making them feel? I think that that is way more important than like overdone face, overdone lips, all of that kind of stuff. And so I think it's really important when we're doing these. I'm always like asking clients, like, what is our goal? Do we have, like I said before, a wedding coming up? Is it, cancer treatments? Are we just in a, I don't know, like people like to do things to treat themselves. And I think that that makes a huge difference. In the way that we treat clients a little different than maybe
yeah,
others
I
may.
had a client, even she had a wedding, her son's wedding, a year from the day that I did her consultation, and we did a series of CO2 treatments. She's in her late 60s, maybe early 70s. Did a series of CO2 treatments and some at-home care. And when she finally got around to, she was already excited before the wedding, getting compliments. And when she got back from the wedding, she was telling me the same thing. It's like the amount of compliments she was getting, and she wasn't asking for them. She wasn't telling anyone she had stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so natural, and it was just her younger, that people were stunned. And so
Yeah.
she told me that story too. But yeah, she looked 15, 20 years younger.
Yeah.
Just with some basic laser treatments. So, like, given that lady though, what would you say? She was wanting results over the course of a year, so she had good expectations. She
That's
said,
like ideal.
I had
Ideal
somebody
client.
call me the other day, and you can answer this question, but I had a lady call me, and she said, well, I have an event on Saturday. It was Thursday. And she said, what can you do for me to make all this better?
Yeah.
And I said,
Nothing.
nothing.
I can give you a
get
glow.
you can get a hydrofacial, and it'll give you a glow, but you're not getting any anti-aging treatments.
Yeah.
You have 2 days. So there's two very much extremes on expectations. What do people want results quickly on?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to lay those expectations out that this, what you're wanting, is going to take time.
Hyperpigmentation and acne, I feel like, are the biggest conversations around that, where I have to be like, okay, let's slow down here a second. Like, I cannot get rid of your acne in one treatment. I cannot clear up your pigment in one treatment. And really having to kind of get into the science of how the skin works and why we're here in the first place and why it's going to take time to kind of get there. And I think the reason being is they're uncomfortable. Like, they don't feel confident. Like, their skin may be physically painful. Like, they might just be really uncomfortable with acne. So obviously they want a quick fix. And I would say those are the conversations I find the most, where I'm like, okay, we're in this together, but it's not going to be quick. We have to work together on your treatments, your at home, your daily habits.
Right. And then you'll still have those clients that are like, I want this result, but I'm not willing to get this product or that product. I don't want to use this. I don't really know if I need 3 of those. Can we just do 1? And so now they start negotiating with you on
Yeah.
what they want, and they figure they know how to get to those results better
On their own.
And so actually with those clients, we usually end up turning them away because they're never going to be happy with whatever it is that we're offering. And I won't dumb it down because they won't be happy with the results.
Right.
And so
at the end of the day, right? Like, that's how everybody is. We all want that, right? Everybody wants like a beach body, but nobody wants to go to the gym. That's just not how it works. So, yeah, skincare is no different. It takes time. We have to work. You have to have consistency. And so it would be nice if I had a magic wand, but unfortunately I do not. So,
you got 30,
but I have a lot of lasers, and that's pretty close.
30 to 40 years of damage, and they are like, how quickly can we get rid of this?
Yeah.
It's not going to take 30 or 40 years to get rid of, but you got to give me some time.
And then the other thing is, you get them these amazing results and they forget. So, I mean, how often do you sit in consultations and you're doing their follow-up photos, and, we put them back in our skin analysis machine, and you're like, look, this happened just the other day, and I had like 80% improvements in, I think we did so let's say 3 months, with anti-aging, pigment, and hydration. And she was like, oh, wow, totally forgot, because you see yourself every day. So,
Everyone forgets.
we all forget. It's just
30 days later, people are like, I don't know if it really worked. I don't know if I got the result. And then you have to show them the picture that you took when they came to see you in the first place. And
they're like,
it's
whoa.
night and day.
Yeah.
So what would we'll do the last one on products, but what is a product that people are buying and they're just burning money?
Not necessarily a product, but an ingredient that I think most people are wasting money on is vitamin C. And it is one of my favorite ingredients, as I mentioned. However, if you are not buying a good quality vitamin C, you're just buying a fancy bottle. So, vitamin C is very unstable. It breaks down very quickly. So once it's exposed to light water, air. It's not really doing what the bottle says. It might have been vitamin C going in, but it's just kind of not anymore. It's not going to be as strong as it needs to be to do what it's promising. So I would say that that's a big one. Anytime I see a TikTok video and they have their little dropper bottle and they take the little wand out and they like, and it like melts down their face, I'm like so annoyed. One, that's dirty. Don't touch your face and put your wand back in. That's gross. But more importantly, that vitamin C is not doing anything for you, unfortunately, because it's just as expensive as the good stuff.
So that's one. And then we have like gadgets, for
Okay.
example. But like let's take the one that sucks the
There's a,
stuff out of your nose.
yeah, I was going to say there's a new one I just saw on TikTok, and I knock TikTok products, but watch TikTok a lot. But there is like a at-home hydrofacial machine out now, and it's supposed to suck the product out while infusing hydration. No. No. Hydrofacial, or any of those types of like professional hydroderms, they're using high quality ingredients to break down the skin and the oil at the same time as the suction. So it's not literally just sucking the pores clean. So when I see those kind of gimmicky products, I would say be careful. You're about ready to give yourself a hickey. And you can very easily break open your skin. You can cause a lot of capillary damage, give yourself a nice little bruise across your face. So I would say that is like a dud. At home LED masks, I think are great as long as you're using them consistently. So there are good products and gadgets that you can use at home. I'm not knocking all of them, but at home lasers, not going to happen. At home hydrofacial machines, not going to happen. I don't know. IPLs at home? No.
Maybe it's compared to, well, I'm going to go and, do some DIY around the house. I'm going to do my own electrical work.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's out of code. You light your house on fire, or it just sits there and doesn't actually get finished.
Yeah.
As opposed to going and seeing someone or hiring a professional
to
come and just do it, make it right, make it good.
There are great things you can do. Like I said, you can do LED like masks, like red light therapies. That's great. You can do that. That's a DIY at home. Go crazy. You can do that daily. It's not going to hurt your skin. Some other stuff needs to be left to the professionals.
Yeah, and you could be like, same thing with the electrician example, is you could be doing something and causing a problem elsewhere that you don't even know you're causing, and that happens in skincare and other, medical aesthetic procedures all the time.
Yep.
And then we have to fix them.
Okay,
and
so
it costs you more.
That is true.
So
yes. Okay, so I have a little question for you then. So typically speaking, how long does permanent makeup last?
So we'll talk specifically about brows. Brows are going to last. The shape itself in traditional permanent makeup is going to last you about 2 to 5 years before you need a touch up. The shape itself will last you forever. But what happens is you end up getting the warm tones leave. You end up with the cool tones behind. That's why you get kind of that ash brown color.
Mm-hmm.
So I have clients that come in sometimes once a year just to get a freshen up, make it pop again. But typically between the 2 and 5 year mark is your touch up range for those. Eyeliner is about every 7 to 15 years. A good range there.
I've had my eyeliner touched up once, I believe.
25 years.
And it was, I had mine done when I was 18, and I'm
just after World War II.
And I'm only 19 now, so
perfect.
Yeah. World War II.
Perfect.
Rude. Yeah. So lips.
Lips are a little bit less, and it's not that they go away. It's just that you think all the color is gone. I just did one today where that was the case, and we had to show an old photo versus what she came in with after 2 years. And it's still there. It's still 60% there. It's just that the boldness of it fades a little bit, but she had no border at all on her lips. And when you showed her that photo from 2 years ago, she forgot that she didn't have a border. And so it was more of that instead of her coming in 2 years and saying, well, it's all gone, let's start over. It's like, no, now you have a really good base color. It's faded to a point where it's time for a touch up,
Yeah.
freshen it up, make it bold again. And then she's got probably another I'd say the lips are the same, 2 to 5 years, but the tolerance level is just up to you.
Do you find that, especially brows, but I guess lips as well, people who are not wearing sunscreen consistently, their color fading faster if they're like way more sun exposed? Kind of.
Yeah. So the sunscreen on your brows, if you can do it consistently, will probably get you an extra year or two out of them, because the UV rays are what causes some of the warm tones to break down and leave your skin. And so it'll actually cause them to go cooler faster.
Number 7, our most Googled question, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can laser treatments really reverse aging?
Laser treatments can make you look younger. In some cases, yes. There were some studies with IPLs where they actually did genetically reverse some of those genes. Those are still being studied. But as far as laser actually making you younger, not really. It will help you grow collagen, elastin. It'll kind of reinvigorate some of the things in your body that have gone dormant. It's not going to reverse you, but those things will wake back up.
Yeah.
So your ability to grow collagen, your ability to grow elastin, your ability to heal, your ability just to have that overall rejuvenation will come back as if you were in your 20s or 30s again, but it's not going to actually reverse your age.
Unfortunately. How many years do you think lasers can take off, like cosmetically?
Well, taking the average client that I have, probably 60 to 70 in that range, it'll take 10 to 15 years pretty confidently, some more.
What is the first thing that clients notice? Let's say they do a series of CO2s, even after the first treatment. This is what I always hear, but I'm just
Yeah.
interested what your answer is. That they come back and they're like, this was the first thing I noticed.
The pigmentation
Mhm.
is the first thing always.
Yeah.
Those are the most standout pieces. And then just the texture. That's probably number 2, is that a lot of the softer fine lines have disappeared completely. A
Mhm.
lot of the wrinkles have diminished. A lot of times they'll have a glow back to their face again. If you have a lot of pigment or texture in your face, you're refracting and you're absorbing light. You're not actually pushing it back out to someone else's eyes. And so I talk to clients about that all the time, is that as soon as you get rid of a lot of the pigmentation and a lot of the texture that's refracting light in different directions as it's bouncing off your face, if you can get that to be more like glass and not a lot of pigmentation to it, it'll reflect light back into the person that you're talking to, which then immediately makes you
Look more
look younger,
youthful. Hmm.
youthful, cleaner, confident, the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always have clients like, my skin's so soft, like it just feels nice. And so I think that that makes a big difference too. It's just when you go to apply your products, everything just feels nicer. So,
So we're going to get into some quick fire, but first off, I want to mention that Brittany was in a commercial. I don't know when it'll air,
like a
but
commercial like that, it's not going to be on TV. Maybe Hulu, like maybe those
it's okay
types.
because no
I
one
don't.
watches TV anyway.
It's true.
It's on TikTok and everybody.
Yeah. So I was asked to do, I guess you could call it a commercial. I guess that's what it is,
That's
like
what
an
they called it.
advertisement. I had to sign a talent agreement, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, for PCA Skin. So that was really a fun experience. Um, they kind of gave me one product that we specifically talked about the entire time, which was really fun to do. It kind of made me dive deep into the science a little bit more on this product that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk like specific of what treatment or product it was yet, but anyways, so I didn't ask those questions, but it was a really fun experience. I will say I am very hard on myself, and so I called them back like I think 2 or 3 times, and told them, if you want me to redo it, I totally will. Because, of course, in my mind, I bombed and, I was just in my head about it. But they said I did a great job. So, and I haven't got a call back to redo anything. So I guess they liked it. But yeah, that was a fun experience. I've been asked a few times to speak for PCA Skin, and that's always a fun treat because I thought this was something that they were doing kind of all over the country with a lot of other estheticians. And they're like, no, just you. And I was like, oh, well, that was kind of cool. So yeah, that was a new experience. I had never done anything like that. It was kind of like a big Zoom call, I guess. It was me standing there filming myself with my camera, but there was like directors and stuff on the other side of the camera and kind of like asking me questions and telling me to do retakes and technology, man. They were in New York. I was here. It was pretty neat. So yeah. So just
All right.
another thing to push me out of my comfort zone because he's the chatty one of the group. So
I like
All
to
right.
speak, but
You do.
you're doing an amazing job. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Go.
What's the number one reason permanent makeup doesn't heal the way clients expect?
Bad aftercare.
Oh. What's the biggest permanent makeup myth you hear every week?
That it is going to be black or gray and it's going to look like McDonald's arches.
What's something clients worry about that never actually happens?
The pain. It's very comfortable.
What's something clients don't worry about that they should?
Aftercare.
Okay. Um, how do you know if someone's brows are overdone?
When you look at them, you look away from them and try to talk at their forehead and not their brows.
When you want to like lick it off.
Yeah, usually they're just drawn on too thick.
Yeah.
That's all.
What makes brows look natural versus obviously tattooed brows?
Wispy hair strokes, nano needles, microblades, anything you can get thin and sparse to make them look like small hairs.
What is the skin type that's most challenging for permanent makeup? Or is there one?
Yeah, redheads
Mm-hmm.
and type 5s and 6s.
And to the normal
Look it up.
human watching
Dark skin types are difficult because the colors will heal a lot differently under the skin.
still can be done, just a little bit more
Do them all
challenging.
the time.
Yeah.
But they're just difficult.
In your opinion, are nano brows replacing ombre brows?
Nano brows have been around since the beginning of permanent makeup. They just get called different things, and when better tools come out, then they
Yeah.
call them nano. They might call them micro. I don't know. At some point, pico brows because the needles will get smaller. They'll just change the name, but it's hair stroke brow versus a makeup look.
And
And
to the
yes,
client, everybody calls it microblading.
no
And
matter
it's not.
what, I know.
That's just the term that everybody uses. What is the biggest mistake artists make when designing brows? Like, so brows that you have corrected, which you do a lot of correction.
Over half of what I do is corrective work. The biggest mistake an artist will make is one, they don't pre-draw. They don't listen to their client as to what they want. And they try to do everything in the very first treatment and not giving themselves some grace for the follow-up treatment to do the finalized work.
Yeah.
Less is more, less is better on that first one.
Should clients bring inspiration photos?
You can. It doesn't mean we're going to do it. Your face is not, you don't have the face of that celebrity. Your brows are going to look totally different on your structure than theirs.
Yep.
We can give you an idea, though, of what we are trying to attain.
Okay. Nano or ombre? Your personal.
Nano.
Thin or thick brows? Not thick. Full.
In the middle
Okay.
of those two things.
Natural or glam?
Natural.
Do you prefer doing brows or eyeliner?
Brows have the biggest impact, but I love them both.
Sharp tails or soft tails?
Ooh, depends on your face. They both look great. It just depends on your face.
It's scary, this question. Mapping or freehand?
I do both. I
You
map
freehand?
first and then I freehand based on, I have them close their eyes, open their eyes, relax, raise your brows, move around, look sad, look happy.
Oh, I
all
see.
of these. And then I free draw from there. So we get our core shape
But
down.
you're still drawing.
Yeah, no, don't freehand.
I read it as freehand,
Start.
and I'm like, that's terrifying. Okay, there's your rapid fire.
You guys know everything you need to know now.
There you go. Get your brows tattooed.
All right, fast one. You ready?
Yep.
This is a skincare rapid fire. What is the most common skincare mistake you see?
Not using sunscreen.
What is the most overrated skincare ingredient?
Ingredient. Oh, pass. I
I got
I have one too, but I don't want to get into it.
snail mucus.
Oh, I was going to say beef tallow, which I know we have different opinions on. But I would say beef tallow because most of the time it's not actually beef tallow.
Right. What's the most underrated skincare
Retinol.
ingredient?
Retinol.
I agree. What's one product people waste money on?
Makeup wipes. Throw them out. Terrible for your skin.
What's one product people should spend more money on?
Corrective serums. Save your money on your cleansers. Put your money into your serums.
100%. Is SPF really non-negotiable?
Really, really.
What's worse, sleeping in makeup or not wearing sunscreen?
Not wearing sunscreen. I guess it depends on actually the client.
Depends on your ailment. What's the biggest skincare myth on social media?
That you should follow social media.
Perfect. What's one skincare habit that ages people faster?
Again, I think we're back to the sunscreen or over exfoliation.
Okay. Can you actually reverse skin damage?
You could reverse sun damage. Yeah.
Okay. What's the first sign of aging you notice?
Pigment.
What's the biggest skin concern people should address sooner?
Loss of collagen.
What's better, a great home routine or occasional treatments?
Great home routine.
How long should people try a product before giving up?
3 months.
What's the biggest skincare mistake women over 50 make?
I think, just not using a retinol.
Not using a retinol. What's the biggest skincare mistake women in their 20s make?
Not wearing sunscreen.
Perfect. What's the biggest?
This is a whole podcast about wearing sunscreen.
Yeah, just wear sunscreen and we don't even need to talk. What's the biggest skincare mistake that men make?
Not
One word answer. Go.
sunscreen.
Sunscreen. Not doing anything at all.
Not listening to their wives.
All right, let's do this last part really fast. So this is our either or. Lightning round. Healthy skin or perfect skin?
Healthy.
Hydration or exfoliation?
Hydration.
Vitamin C or retinol? I got you on that one.
Retinol.
You
Retinol.
liar. Laser or microneedling?
Safe answer, microneedle.
Chemical peel or facial?
Chemical peel.
SPF or moisturizer?
SPF.
Really? Just kidding. Prevention or correction?
Prevention.
Skin quality or wrinkle reduction?
Skin quality.
One great product or 10 average products?
One great product.
And what is that product?
Retinol and sunscreen.
That's two.
That's two, but you can't use one without the other. Well, you
Mix
can
them
use.
together. It's one product.
No,
Awesome.
don't do that.
Sorry.
Don't do that.
So should we be wearing sunscreen every day or just like when we go to the lake or the pool or
Here's
golf?
the thing. In the state of Arizona, we are getting more unintentional sun than most people get in other states intentionally. So think about just walking the dog, going to the mail, driving in your car. If you have plants in your home that are living, you clearly are getting plenty of UV rays through your windows. So we are bombarded. I can't remember 300 and something days of sun a year in Arizona. So even though you're not laying by the pool and you're not, intentionally getting sun, you're not golfing or something like that, you are still getting sun all the time, and it will age you quickly. Obviously, we know the risks of melanoma, but yes, you can get sun through windows, which is why this was just a conversation earlier today, why pilots have such a high risk of skin cancer, because they are in front of a window right in front of the sun all day long. So yes, you have to wear sunscreen every day. Nothing will slow down the aging process faster than wearing sunscreen every day. And of course, the sunscreen that is designed for the face, if we're talking about the face. But yeah.
A good
Yeah,
sunscreen,
a
not
good-
go to Walmart.
And honestly, if you go to Walmart and buy a sunscreen, it's not going to be probably my favorite product for you, and it might make you break out, and there's other things we could talk about, but I would still rather you do that than nothing.
Better than nothing. But
And you can still get a tan with sunscreen.
Yep.
Well,
and
wait,
you're still going to get your vitamin D.
what are the youth called now? Are they Gen X, Z,
I
Y?
have no idea. I think we
You
went back around
youngins,
A or B.
Everybody that's watching the UV index this summer, and that's a big thing right now too. What's the UV index? And they're laying out because it's a certain number. Put your sunscreen on. If you want to go in a tanning bed, which I recommend you not, put your sunscreen on. before you go into the tanning bed. You will still activate your melanocytes. You will still get a tan. The skin is designed to do that. We are protecting it from the UVA, your aging rays, and UVB, your burning rays, and UVC, your cancerous rays. So you can still protect it, and you can still get a nice glow, and you can still get your vitamin D absorption. You probably won't burn in the sun because you have darker skin, but you are still susceptible to cancer and aging. Like, you could probably be outside a lot longer and not have any symptoms of a sunburn, but a tan even is a sign of sun damage. So I would say like 35 would be a good like SPF, and something that's comfortable. Like, if it doesn't feel good on your skin, if it makes you feel like, I hear a lot of men say they don't like to wear sunscreen because they feel sweaty or it feels like thick. You know, they don't like the feeling of anything. So you need to find something that you feel comfortable in, that you'll actually wear every day. I won't like blow your mind even more letting you know sunscreen only lasts 80 minutes and it needs to be reapplied. Every sunscreen bottle will tell you this. To be fair, if you are just doing this every day and you're inside, if you apply it before in the morning, I would say you're doing better than most and you're protecting your skin a lot. If you are out in the sun and you're definitely like, you're golfing, you're by the pool, whatever, you're going to be outside gardening, whatever. Yes, you have to reapply every 80 minutes. Sunscreen does have, it kind of maxes out, especially if you're going to be in the water because you're rinsing it off after a certain amount of time.
Well, and I'll give you a quick rundown. So if you're using a traditional chemical sunscreen, which usually those are the cheaper versions, what happens is when the UV rays and the heat hit your skin, that chemical that's in the sunscreen is going to basically, it kind of expands and then goes back and expands and goes back. It's dispersing a lot of those UV damage rays. And then at that point, it's used up. It's done its job. So that's why you would want to reapply when you are in the sun a lot more. Now, if you get a sunscreen that has a chemical barrier and a physical barrier, now you've got a whole nother huge layer of protection.
So like your chemical sunscreens are kind of like absorbing the rays, kind of think like a sponge and then dispersing, right, where your physical barriers, think like zinc oxide, that kind of stuff, are gonna, you know, they're like boop, bouncing off a little bit. But yes, you do need to reapply. And I would actually say the biggest, I don't know if we're still rolling here, but the biggest sunscreen issue, I think, is people not using the right amount of sunscreen. So there is a dose that you're supposed to be using based on the area that you're applying it. So if you're just applying it to your face, think like products that, you know, like 2 fingers of product, like you're, you know, like squirt it out. That would be what would cover your face. I don't have the breakdown off the top of my head, but when you're applying to your body, I want to say it's like an ounce, like a shot glass, if I remember correctly. I'm kind of going off the top of my head there, but yeah. So the amount, like it's like a medication, right? You have to take the right dose to actually have it do its job. Something that freaking stresses me out when I am, especially at the beach, the whole time we were in Mexico, I was like complaining about it the entire time. If you are using spray sunscreen on a windy day, nothing is getting on your skin. I'm just seeing people sit there and just spray their kids, and it's like not even touching their skin and it's just bouncing off. Spray sunscreen does need to be rubbed in, and it actually has to hit your skin to be able to do something. And most people do not apply near enough of a spray. There are harmful ingredients that have been found in sunscreen. I would say, okay, so I don't know, around 10 years ago, I could be off on my timeline. It was not regulated. Sunscreen was not regulated. So you could go to the store and you could buy an SPF 25 and an SPF, and they would not be equivalent to the coverage that they would give you, right? They weren't regulated. They are definitely regulated now. There have been ingredients that have been found harmful, just like anything in the world, right? So those have been removed. I would say your better sunscreens, your like professional use sunscreens, are going to be much better. They're on top of those trends a little bit faster. But I feel like that could be a whole episode on its own, just talking about to that point. I think there's a lot of fear around it. I don't think the sun is typically bad for you. I can't think that the thing that kind of gives us all life and grows and all of that is also killing us. I don't agree with that. However, I mean, we could really go down a rabbit hole, but I think the foods we eat, the amount of inflammation we have in our bodies, mixed with the excessiveness of sun and then not protecting it, that is where you can become cancerous because people get skin cancer in areas that, and we don't have to put all this in, but people get skin cancer in areas that never see the sun. So clearly it's not just the sun, right? There's just inflammation in our bodies.
I don't think you're going down a rabbit hole. I'm 100% in agreement that when you combine those things,
Yeah.
that's where you end up getting in trouble.
What would I use? I love Elta MD. Their sunscreens are superior. I love the way they feel. They have a lot of different options. So that's why I like them because I feel like I can find something for everybody that will feel comfortable on them and they'll use, and they have additional ingredients. So we have ones for acne and aging and hydration. So like it's like also correcting their skincare issues. So that's why I like Elta. If you're on a budget, well, any skincare, or any sunscreen will have this also, but there are a few over-the-counter sunscreens. If you turn them around, there'll be a little label on the back, and it'll say recommended by the Skin Cancer Foundation. It's like a little
circle thing,
little emblem. At least we know that those have been tested, tried and true. They've gone above and beyond your FDA approvals and testing. So as long as you have that, I believe Banana Boat is one that not all of their sunscreens, but a lot of their sunscreens will have that little. So it's not necessarily a brand; it's a specific, product in a line of SPFs.
Well, they're just
Try to find it.
they've gotten to the lowest bar and said, "Here's our sunscreen," and they haven't really done like. There's companies that do third-party testing just to ensure purity and in different products. That's kind of if they whoever takes the next few steps to ensure. So the thing is too is that if you're on a severe budget, it's better than nothing. But honestly, when you get into Elta's products, that to me is considered a budget product. I mean, we can get a nice sunscreen for $35, but you're not using it all over your body. That's a facial sunscreen. Get Banana Boat, get your other, whatever ingredients.
They do have a body one.
And use those on your body for when you're out and about or you're going to be, at the lake, pool, whatever. But use the Elta on your face.
Yeah.
And that'll last you
So there are facial ones, there's body ones. Yeah. So the face ones that we sell at our office, they'll last you about 3 months. They're dosed properly. One pump is going to be a dose for your face. We do have body ones. Anybody that has been swimming at our house will know. I literally have a gallon jug of Elta sunscreen. It has like the big pump on it. Plus, I don't know, 10 other bottles of sunscreen. So I love Elta. I love their products. I love how they feel. They're easy to use. They've never given anybody like any sun sensitivities. We took it to Mexico. Other than my one son who did get burnt, nobody else got burnt, or even Pink, but he got burnt for other reasons because he doesn't listen. You can only do so much.
So you're talking about premium, best sunscreen, less than $7 a month if you break it down for how long it's going to last you. And how much is $7 a month worth to keep your skin from aging at a rapid pace?
Yeah. But more importantly, when you're especially out in the sun a lot, you can have a more cost-effective, if that's the word you want to use, sunscreen. As long as you are using it properly, you're dosing it properly, you're reapplying it the way you need to, making sure it does have that little emblem on it. You're good. Yeah. Thanks for spending time with us today. Make sure to check us out on social media, check out our website, and we can't wait to see you again for our next episode.